Remember, shout out to my Patreon. Y'all are the real MVPs. I'm going to be trying to do some special things for y'all in this new year because y'all have definitely been riding with me. If you would like to join my Patreon, it's very simple. All you have to do is go to www.patreon.com/bstokestyling and make your pledge. $5, $10, or $25. Currently, I'm trying to get to 20 Patreons, you guys, so make sure you help me reach my goal by clicking the link down in my description box and joining my Patreon. You do not want to miss out on the early access to my videos. Less than 2 minutes before we get this party started. Thank you for everyone that's joining. Hey Coco, I see you here. Please take this time to share this video out so that we can get this discussion started. We got a few things to talk about. Make sure that you are in the chat because I'm going to have some poll questions coming up. A minute and a half to go. Don't forget to order your custom Stokes styling merch. That's right, we have merch. Just click the link down below in the description box and order your Stokes styling merch today. Hey, welcome back to my channel. Thank you all for joining me for today's Real Housewives of Potomac live recap. I know normally I do this the night of the show or right after the show, but I was doing some work last night, so I was like, I'm gonna come to y'all today, give y'all my thoughts. I'm sharing this video out right now before we get started, so y'all give me one quick second. Please take this time to share the video out to your communities as well, because sharing is caring. And we're over here trying to get these followers up, honey. We are like 150 away from hitting 2,000. Y'all, come on, let's get to 2,000 before the end of the year. So in order to help me do that, I just need y'all to share this video out to people who enjoy this type of content. Also, I do beauty content as well. Y'all don't want to miss that. Hold on. I'm just sending this out. I will be starting. Okay, here we go. I didn't take any notes for the episode last night because, to be honest with you, it was not it was filler-ish, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't take any notes specifically for the episode, but we'll go ahead and get into what happened. So y'all know we are still at the Eastern Shore, and they just came back from doing the boat ride. G and Ashley had got into it on the boat. Everybody's getting home. They have a few minutes to get ready, or however long to get ready before this crab boil that Wendy has set up. The caterers have shown up. They're gonna have a really nice little setup outside in the backyard. For the crab boil. And then I think later on in the episode, Mia says, I'm like, this is the nicest crab boil I've been to. They, overall, to be honest with you, I think Wendy did a nice job as the host on this trip. I think that it's extremely hard to host a cash trip because everyone wants to have all of their bougie standards and all of this kind of stuff. But Wendy did give them, they were only there for a couple days. And I mean, you ate good. You had seafood. Honey, you put me on a trip with seafood. I'm happy. Y'all went on a little boat ride. The women messed it up more so than Wendy did. I felt like Wendy did a pretty good job hosting her first cash trip. So we're seeing everybody getting ready. You see the green-eyed bandits complaining about the room and, oh, this is where we were supposed to sleep. You're going to be there for one freaking day. Is it that hard to sleep in the twin bed? Okay, whatever. Everybody come downstairs. Side note, did y'all see Escala's little glitter blazer? Oh my gosh, it was too cute. It was too. Escala has been serving the looks for the girls this whole season, hasn't she? Ray and Karen come downstairs, honey, with their little hats. And Karen had this, first of all, the little outfit Karen had on. I actually have something kind of similar to that. It's like a little bralette type of top, a little crop top with the matching pants, and then a little cardigan. Karen looks good. Let's just call a thing a thing. Karen is out here serving for these young girls, honey. She is in love with her Ray. She said they finna celebrate their 25 years. They gonna be happy no matter what. Giselle's over there looking with the stank face because y'all already know Giselle ain't happy about nobody else having no kind of love, okay? They go out to eat. It's apparently a little chilly, so G ends up going inside because I guess it's too cold for his bones. You can't let your bones get cold when you get to a certain age. That Arthur get to kicking up on you. Arthur get to kicking up. Your fingers get stuck. You can't do that. Hey, Mr. Morton. Thank you for joining. All right, so everybody's outside eating the crabs and everything, and actually we are having a decent time. At this last dinner, we ain't having nobody fussing at first. Then randomly you see Wendy and Eddie pull Karen. They pull Karen away from the table. They're like, Karen, come over here. So they got on the other side of the house this like cake that they're gonna put Karen in because apparently Wendy made some type of, not Wendy, Ray made some type of joke about how for the wedding he wants a cake where a woman pops out. So they got this cake for Karen so that she can pop out for Ray. I think it was a cute idea. Couple of things that could have made this better. Number one, Wendy, you should have let Karen know that you were going to do this. Maybe so that she could have had like a change of outfit or something, because like she just came, like we saw her walk out in this little cute little blue little outfit. Thank you for letting me run the more in. Thank you. So yeah, we saw Karen come out in this blue little outfit, and then she's gonna jump out the cake in the same little outfit. Like you should have had her on. Like I understand you don't want her in no lingeries or nothing, because I mean we are around. It is a couple's trip. It is a whole bunch of other husbands. But she could have had a little boa on or something. You know what I'm saying? She could have gave us a little negligee or something. If you're gonna have her pop out this cake, it was kind of like when she actually did pop out the cake, it was kind of like lackluster, because it's like, okay, Karen's in the cake wearing the same thing she been wearing. I get where you were trying to go, Wendy, but it kind of fell flat. Just saying. But while they're over there trying to get Karen together to pop out on the cake on Ray, honey, G ends up coming back outside and he's making jokes. And he was saying how, he thought he would get some more sleep or something like that. And so then a scholar says, you keep making sleep jokes, Ashley's finna get mad at you. And he's like, huh, what? Why would she get mad at me then? Or what was she not sleeping or whatever? And then Ashley brings up, well, you were making fun of me sleeping on the bus, G. He was like, what? Making fun of you? What? When? On the bus. On what bus? And she goes, what? Do you have amnesia? Alzheimer's? And so then everybody's like, whoa, now, Ashley. And so then Mia gets upset, and Mia's like, how dare you say he got Alzheimer's? Where is your husband? And she says, first of all, it's not Alzheimer's, it's Alzheimer's with a Z. But my husband, he's at home taking care of the children. Ashley and Mia says, are you sure? That's how I know that Mia has been watching this show. And she came in with the persona of how she knew she would be able to make it into this show. You get what I'm saying? Because the way she said that, she just felt too comfortable in coming for Ashley and her marriage. Now, I personally believe that Ashley is being sensitive. I'm looking at the poll. Let me look at the poll. Where is it at? Y'all are on Ashley's side so far on the poll. I'm gonna leave the poll up and see if anyone see. Y'all tell me why y'all on Ashley's side. Honestly, I just truly think, like G was like, I'm joking. We're out here, we trying to have a good time. I think Ashley just already didn't see it for him. She was already annoyed. So anything that he said would aggravate her. And she went really like, just like how we say Candace be doing too much, Ashley did too much. Like, there was no point in, oh, you got Alzheimer's? Like, what was the point of that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, to me, it's just being really petty. And so, of course, if someone comes after your husband and your husband's faculties, you're going to snap back at them. So, honestly, I did not blame Mia at this moment. But Mia, so let's count how many housewives you done got into it with at this point, Mia. Let's see. That would be Ashley, Candace, Giselle and Robin, Wendy. Common denominator, Mia, is you talking and putting your mouth in stuff that you don't necessarily need to. That's just what that is. But anyway, so they end up diffusing that conversation before Karen came out and jumped out the cake. Like I said, I didn't think that it was that serious. Like, I truly don't. I feel like they are being extra sensitive to G. G is trying to have a good time, but this is clearly like, it's a difference though between when you're on a group trip or on a couples trip with people who are your actual friends, and how kind of relaxed and jokey you can be with people who are your actual friends, versus this group of people who are clearly just co-workers trying to coexist. Y'all feel me? And I don't think he understands the difference. I'm not, like, I know a lot of people don't like G. I don't dislike G. G don't bother me. He wouldn't bother me if I was on this trip. I don't believe to me, he ain't did nothing that was just outrageous. He's a little obnoxious, yes, but to me, he didn't do anything that was just outrageous. And I just think that Ashley was being really, really sensitive. And you could tell that he wasn't really trying to poke her, because he was sitting there laughing. Like, she was just being sensitive, if you ask me. All right, so we leave Chesapeake. We are now back in Potomac. Okay, you guys. Everybody's back to their regularly scheduled programs in Potomac. So let's see. The first, let's go by wives. Let's talk about Giselle, because I want to go ahead and get into her conversations with her daughters. She takes them out to a nursery to pick out more plants for their driveway. And as she's out there talking to them, they begin to have a conversation about relationships. And the daughters let her know that her and her father, or that their parents are not examples for them when it comes to showing what a healthy relationship looks like. they are divorced, and Giselle has been single and not in any kind of good relationships. We don't, Jamal is doing whatever Jamal is doing. And so they don't have an example of a healthy, stable relationship in order to model after them. And Grace, who's the oldest, says that, that's always going to be an issue for them just because it's something that they've never seen. And this really kind of hurts Giselle's feelings. And they go ahead and talk about further how she is kind of emotionally unavailable to them, and how she kind of is seen like a vampire, like emotionless. And that is also part of the issue why they possibly could have some issues in relationships later. Now, Giselle says that she didn't realize that she was putting these type of walls up as it pertains to her daughters, and that she was going to try to work on it. So I want to stop right there and I want to talk about it, because honestly, the only time that I can deal with Coco said, you just finished. All right. Well, Coco, come on, jump in the conversation. So the only time I can kind of deal with Giselle is when she is talking with her daughters, because it does humanize her and it is the more softer side of her. And I am going to give Giselle the benefit of the doubt. This ringing is going to drive me crazy. Let me mute my phone. I am going to give Giselle the benefit of the doubt when it comes to how she is perceived with her emotions and her feelings. She later does a therapy session with, I can't remember the doctor's name, but she later does a therapy session with the therapist that we've seen her work with before. And she talks about how it's always been a issue and a struggle for her to identify her feelings and to express them and to be vulnerable, and that she's always had a wall up, and she's now realizing that it's not great, and that could be hindering her from having any kind of meaningful relationships. And when she was talking to her daughter, she said that there were some times where she could have been more vulnerable in her relationship with their dad that could have helped the marriage in the long term. So I like how she was being upfront with her children. And part of it, I truly, and I'm not like normally one of those people that's like, oh, the zodiac or Leos are like this, or Capricorns are like that, or whatever. I'm not normally that person. But I will say, as a fellow Virgo, and I don't be on Giselle's side often, so y'all know this is hurting my heart to even say. But as a fellow Virgo, sometimes it is extremely hard for me to identify and express my feelings. So I kind of understood where Giselle was coming from. I'm not as cold as Giselle is. I don't believe I'm definitely a little bit more open and vulnerable than Giselle is. However, the unwillingness or the hesitance to be vulnerable and express yourself, I understand that feeling, and I understand that's something that I have seen that's pretty common in a lot of Virgo women. If you're a Virgo woman and you want to chime in on it, you can always do so down in the chat. So this was a scene that really humanized Giselle. Still don't like her, but it humanized her. And let me see. Coco says Grace wasn't playing. She weighed it on kind of thick, even for Giselle. But I think that it's important. I think that it's important that she's having these conversations with these girls, because you don't want them to end up having the same issues in relationships that you have. And let's just be honest about it. A lot of us have not been modeled successful two-parent households, relationships. The according to the statistics, they're starting to, like, I think two-parent households have increased to like 70% here recently, which is the highest it's been in a long time. But even if you do have a two-parent household, a lot of times we are not always modeled healthy behaviors. And so even though her daughters may say that she seems kind of cold and vampirish and standoffish, at least now she's trying to kind of turn a corner and she's seeing how she could better herself in that way. The only time, like I say, the only time that Giselle is even kind of likable for me is when she's with her daughters and her daughters be getting her together. Okay? Period. At the point and the blank. And in all actuality, this is probably the reason why a lot of Giselle has not had a successful relationship, because there's no way for you to have a successful relationship if you're not going to be vulnerable within your relationship. And this is probably part of the reason why. Let me see. Coco says it's not easy, but you're a Leo though. It's important, but dang great. She did what needed to be done. But see, you know what? I like the fact, excuse me, I like the fact that her daughters can actually talk to her and say the real. You know what I'm saying? They don't sugarcoat it. That's for they dang sure don't sugarcoat it. But I think that that's actually good and healthy for them, because they're not disrespectful when they say anything, but they are very much so honest. And shoot, nobody else be honest with Giselle. Everybody else kisses Giselle's butt. So I like the fact that her daughters give it to her. I do. Anyway, back in Potomac, who else we had? Did we see Robin? No, because what she got to talk about? Nothing. We saw Mia. So apparently something happened with Mia and her mom. Okay, so after they left the couples trip, I guess G and Mia decided to take like an extra day or so just to celebrate their anniversary. Now, you know, they said it was going to be their 8-year anniversary. That's why he was acting all high and mighty about this little G-Wagon a couple episodes ago. So while they are out celebrating their anniversary, the mom keeps calling, and Mia says she keeps calling because she's asking questions about what to feed the children or something like that. And so her and G kind of end up getting into it a little bit. And so because Mia has this PTSD of her childhood and her mom leaving her, she's like, you know what? We're just gonna cut our little trip short. We're gonna go home because I don't want her to leave my children and they have the same kind of PTSD or resentment or whatever that I end up having. So they cut the trip off short and they go home. And as Mia is sitting there talking to G, she says it's like all the progress that we've made, we've taken 2 steps forward and like 10 steps back because of what's happened. And G says that he'll never leave the children with her again. I am just so confused, you guys, because y'all were going for, you know, the couples trip was like 2 days. And so let's say y'all went an extra 2 days. Y'all were going for 4 days. It's confusing to me how the mom was fine with y'all being gone and fine with knowing what to feed the children, you know, the first 2 days of the trip, but then the last 2 days of the trip, all of a sudden it became too much for her. And something just about that didn't sit well with me, because it's like the mom is like the nanny for her other daughter's children. Isn't that what we were told at the beginning of the season? So we know that the mom has been around kids and knows how to take care of kids. So what is it about the relationship between the mom and Mia that is causing the strain? I feel like we're not getting the whole story. Y'all get what I'm saying? Like, I feel like we're getting a kind of watered down version of the story. I feel like there had to have been some type of words exchanged. It had to have been something more more than just her not knowing what to feed the children. Maybe she was unaware that they were going to be staying for a few extra days. You know what I'm saying? But something about it just doesn't seem right to me now. I know that I just think overall, that it was too soon for Mia to bring her mom on this show with the issues that they have in general. And I I've said it before. I don't want to continue to see a contentious relationship between Mia and her mom, and we're just, and if they like, it's not going to, this environment, this TV environment is not going to be conducive to them actually healing their relationship, whatever the uh breakdown in their relationship is. This is not going to be it. Would I leave my children with her again? No, I would not. And clearly Mia was not ready to do that anyway, because it seems like Mia is afraid that her mom will go back to the life that she lived when she was a child like that. It's clear that Mia does not believe that her mom is completely rehabilitated. And so if you don't trust your mom, don't leave your kids with your mom. That's how I feel about it. Coco says, yeah, that was interesting for me. I think mama was just tired. Yeah, I think she was I think something, there had to have been something more to that conversation. I feel like she might not have known that they weren't coming back when they said they was coming back, or something about just the way that it was said to me is weird. And I don't want to see them continuing to argue or not have a good relationship. I want them to actually work on their mother daughter relationship off camera, and then come back when y'all are stronger, you know? Um let's see. The next wife we got is Ashley. Before we get into Ashley, I have to remind anyone who comes in, please do not forget to like the video. If you're watching on the replay, still like the video. That helps me in the algorithm. I would greatly appreciate a good old liking of the video. Also, as you come in, don't forget to answer the poll question. All right, so let's get into Ashley. We see Ashley and Baby Dean. Is it Baby Dean? Baby Dylan, the newest baby, go to her therapist because she wants to make sure that she doesn't fall back into that postpartum depression that she had before. And she talks about how she has not been able to be intimate with Michael. He just does not seem interested. She tries to initiate some type of intimacy, even though she's unable to, go all the way due to, it not necessarily being comfortable for her right now during postpartum, but she is still trying to show him some type of affection and make sure his needs are met, because she remembers that around this time with her first baby is when he had his indiscretion. I'm gonna put indiscretion in quotation marks. And so she's a little uneasy and a little nervous about that. So she goes to the therapist, and the therapist says, well, have y'all talked about it? She says, yeah. And he says that he says that everything's okay. And the therapist says, well, do you believe him? And she's like, well, yeah, I guess I believe him. It's just, I just want to make sure or whatever. So after the therapy session, I guess Ashley decides that she's just going to make a concerted effort to have a sexy date night. This was the most cringe-worthy scene I have ever seen. Well, no, because they've done this before, and that was just as cringeworthy. Basically, I don't want to see Ashley and Gollum try to get it on. I don't. I don't. I don't know about you, but I don't. But anyway, she invites him out to this hotel, the Watergate Hotel. Apparently, he used to own this property. That lets me know right there that Michael does have the long money. And so she plans this little romantic little liaison for them in the suite. And she got on her little leopard dress, and they're sitting there, they're talking, they're eating. It's just so awkward. There is no type of chemistry. And something that she said when she was in the therapist that I found was interesting, she was like, well, what if I'm too goofy? Like, what if I'm not sexy anymore? What if I'm like, and it's weird to me because and I don't know about anybody else's relationship. I just know about me and my husband. And even when I'm being goofy, like even sometimes I am extra silly, I am extra goofy, I'm not sexy. Like we might be trying to have sexy time and I am just giggly for whatever reason. It's okay because we're good. You know what I'm saying? Like we're legitimately friends, we're legitimately partners. So even if I'm not like sex kitten, I'm just kind of like goofball. We can be goofball together and it's just enjoyable. It's not this anxiety around it. So when I'm watching this scene where Ashley is really trying her best, I guess, to be seductive and have, a sex night. And yeah, Michael is complimenting her. Oh, you look good, babe. Oh, I still find you sexy, babe. But it doesn't seem like there's any real connection or chemistry. And yes, I couldn't have no kind of connection or chemistry looking at that, me personally. But she married him and she had 2 kids by him. So she sit on it at some time. And then I found it interesting how when they started talking about, I think they started talking about Karen's wedding or something, and they were talking about Michael got so excited. That was the most freaking emotion. Sorry, y'all, I'm trying to fix my pants. They all tight on my tummy. That was the most freaking emotion that we saw out of Michael during this whole scene. And it's when he was sitting there talking about Juan and going on and on and on about how he can't wait to see Juan. You were more excited about Juan than you are your wife sitting here in her leopard. Like it just, Michael, say what you want. Be honest. Be honest. She might just be realizing she's not attracted to Michael no more. His money ain't enough no more. Ashley, wake up. No more. It just would have been hard for me from the beginning, if you ask me. It would have been hard for me from the I I would have had to been the one with the blindfold, not him. So she goes and so after he done went on this tangent, daydreaming about one, she's like, you know what, let me go and get this let's redirect. So she gets the blindfold and she tries to like sit on. It was just awkward. Now I don't want to see it anymore. Please don't do that to our eyes anymore. I want it to gouge them out. And then it's like the scene went on so long. Like the scene was 5 minutes too long for me. I was just completely over it. Completely. He was so much more passionate talking about Juan and can't wait to see Juan than he was about Ashley sitting here in her leopard. Okay. And then Ashley knows like how we everybody in the world, how us in the social media world, how we feel. That's why she be trying to redirect it. But baby, we all see what it is. Anyway, the last thing that happened in the episode really were the ladies getting their invitations from Miss Karen. So apparently Karen thought it would be a good idea to put some butterflies in a box and deliver it to everybody. And so I guess when they open the box, the butterflies will just release and it'll be the celebration of the 25-year institution that they are all invited to. Unfortunately, that's not how it played out. All of the women were confusion, even though Karen instructed them to open the box outside, because I'm sure in Karen's mind, she had this grandiose idea of just like almost like doves being released, like, woo, butterflies. You are now invited to the Huger's anniversary. But that's not what it was, honey. First of all, these ladies didn't know if they were moths, roaches, butterflies. Half of them was dead. Like it just did not give what it was supposed to have gave. And somebody else had did that. This little butterfly thing. Who did it? I remember seeing it on a reality show. But I cannot remember, or was it a TV show? But I remember seeing this idea of like a gift, a invitation with butterflies inside, and then you open it and the butterfly comes out. But I do not remember. I can't remember the reference. If y'all remember where that came from originally, you can drop it down in the chat or in the comment section. I don't remember it. But anyway, that's what Karen was trying to give, and it didn't give what it was supposed to have gave. Well, we already know next episode is going to be the season finale, and it is going to be the wedding. There's going to be a big blow up between Michael and Chris, and then Chris and Candace. And so this is my prediction. Michael is going to be a butthole. Chris just seems to be over the drama. Y'all, I got these little knots in my head, so I'm just messing with them. Sorry. Chris seems to be over the drama and just wanting to just like move on. And I think Michael is going to be the antagonizer. And so then you already know that because Candace can't let anything go. She's going to get heated about it. And Chris is just going to be like, this is not the time nor the place. So then they're going to get into it. And it's just going to be a whole mess. And that's going to be how we end this season on off. I also watched Karen on Watch What Happens Live last night. Karen looked so good on Watch Her. She had this little blonde bang wig. But the blonde, it was like a real pretty, darker, ashy blonde in the bang and at the root. And then it went to her normal blonde. It was Karen's wigs this season have been giving for the girls. You hear me? Have been giving. I'm loving Karen's looks. Karen's wigs at the beginning of Potomac weren't all that. We had wig shifts and everything. But one thing about it, Karen has upgraded ever since, and she looked good. She looked so good last night on Watch What Happens Live. They tried to have a little bit of shade, or Andy tried to cause a little bit of shade between Wendy and Karen about the 3-wick candle versus the 1-wick candle, because Wendy just released her 1-wick candle I think like a week ago, and it's $50 or like $48.95, something like it. It's a $50 candle for a 1-wick candle, which she did. She said she sold out of a 3-month supply. So congratulations to her. Oh yeah, in the episode we seen that. I almost forgot that part. In the episode we saw her doing the photo shoot with her mom and her daughter, because they have their names are inspired by the candle or whatever. It looked like a really nice photo shoot. The photos that she did for them just look really nice. You can kind of really see the brand of it. Like it looked really, really good. So while they were sitting there at the photo shoot, she had a African photographer who apparently had went to school to be an engineer, but now he's out here doing photography. And Wendy says, "Oh, that's so African of you. Our parents send us to school to be doctors, lawyers, engineers, all of these types of jobs. And then eventually you get old enough and you start pursuing your dreams." And so she starts to kind of talk about how her mother did not allow them to make their own choices growing up, and how she kind of feels away because she feels like had she just followed her gut, maybe she could have been further along in doing what she's actually passionate about versus just doing what she's doing. And I think that is a so before I even get into that thought, let me just finish the scene. So she's talking to her mom about it, and her mom is just like, "No, like that, Wendy, I'm not going to let you say that." Then Wendy talks about how, "Well, mom, you never apologized to us as children," and her mom just doesn't want to hear it. Her mom ends up walking out, calling the Uber and walking out because she doesn't want to have this conversation with Wendy. Few things I feel about this scene. Make sure y'all like the video as y'all enter, please, and thank you. Few things I want to say about this scene though. Number one, you could tell that Wendy, and this is like, I know that Wendy's mother is African, so I'm sure that there is a cultural difference between African and African American. We all know that. However, she still reminds me of, the older generation of Black parents who are not here to be discussing their feelings and, well, what what could have been done differently. And, you know, parents seem to get amnesia once y'all become adults. Things that really impacted you as a child, you know, that you can vividly remember, the parent might not. It happens all the time. And I honestly believe that it's kind of counterproductive to go down those conversations. I feel if both people aren't willing and able to accept it. If one person's willing and able and the other one isn't, to me, it's counterproductive, because there will be no resolve. And I don't think that Wendy will get the resolve that she's looking for, whatever kind of validation or resolve that she's looking for. She's not going to get it from her mom. She just doesn't seem to be that type of person. And as far as Wendy saying that she wishes that she would have followed her dreams more than doing what she thought her mom wanted her to do and all of this kind of stuff, I can understand that. But to me, at this point in your life, that's counterproductive thinking. I feel like, Wendy, you did all of those things which now have led you to this point to where you can passionately pursue whatever it is, whatever other endeavors that you want to do, while still being able to maintain, or while still having that steady groundwork, so that, you know what I'm saying, you're just not out here living pillar to post. You know, in all honesty, Wendy, no one would have bought this $50 candle if you were just Wendy Yosefo from DC, and you know, 20 years ago, and you just decided to come out with this candle. That is not, you know, no shade, but that is not why people are buying the candle. People are buying the candle because of you being on the show. And you're on the show because of all the other things that led up to, be it your degrees, be it you working with CNN, whatever. All of that are the prerequisites to you being on this show, which is the prerequisite to you be able to create this business, which is the prerequisite to people even wanting to buy this $50 one wick candle. Because I don't know too many people that just really want to go out here and buy a $50 one wick candle. No shade. No shade. And congratulations to her for selling out. But I'm just saying, so it's counterproductive to sit up here and be like, well, I wish I would have just pursued all of the, you know what I'm saying? Like, your life goes the way that it's supposed to go. It's going how it's supposed to go. Now you can pursue it. Now you can start another chapter in your life, and you're not even in your 40s. Like, look at it like that. Going down and trying to relive the past and talking about how things could have been done differently in the past, it's not going to help you in the present, and it's not going to help you in the future. So let's not even do that. Yeah. Is that it? Is that all? At this point, saying 1 week is shade. It is. And Andy gonna ask Karen, how much is your 3-wick candle, Karen Huger? She says, I'm not gonna do that, Andy. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just happy for Wendy. Y'all go check out her Wendy. And when the Ladom candle comes out, it is a $50 value. Okay, Karen. Yes, Karen has been looking good. Ooh, excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm burping all in my mic. You see how much shook her box. I mean, them poor little butterflies ain't making. But that's it. That's all I have to say for the Real Housewives of Potomac. I hope y'all enjoyed this little review. I think I might come back on live a little bit later, because there have been some things in the blogs lately that I kind of want to talk about. I kind of want to touch on a little bit. So I'll probably be back on. I got to run to the store, and then I'll probably come back on after I get back home. So y'all make sure y'all have your notification bells on. Again, if you are watching on the replay, please do not forget to like the video, share this video out if you care. Trying to get to 2,000 by the end of the year, you guys. We can do it. I just need y'all to help me by sharing this video out. And if you want to further support the channel, all you have to do is join my Patreon. Remember, shout out to my Patreon. Y'all are the real MVPs. I'm going to be trying to do some special things for y'all in this new year, because y'all have definitely been riding with me. If you would like to join my Patreon, it's very simple. All you have to do is go to www.patreon.com/bstokestyling and make your pledge. $5, $10, or $25. Currently, I'm trying to get to 20 Patreons, you guys, so make sure you help me reach my goal by clicking the link down in my description box and joining my Patreon. You do not want to miss out on the early access to my videos. All right, you guys, I'm going to see y'all in the next video. All right, peace.